guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Allie, and today is my Dracula vlog. I started my reread of Dracula this past week, and it's good every single time. It is definitely one of my favorites. I love reading this book, and I have quite a few copies of it. I got these really cool newer editions of both Frankenstein and Dracula, and I love them so much. I took photos with this one earlier today, and we'll probably be reading from this one more that I go. I do have the audiobook through my Libby app, so that is definitely helpful when I'm busy, and I'm definitely busy right now. We've been doing a lot of rearranging of our living room, getting new couches, a new rug, and trying to process and plan out the decor for the walls. It has been quite a time, and it's been a long day. I'm like ready to take my makeup and stuff off and go to bed. I did want to talk to you guys about the new movie, Dracula. Is it like Dracula A Love Tale or something like that? My friend has been so stoked for this movie to come out, so I was like, do you want to go on a date and go get sushi and then go see the new Dracula movie? And that's exactly what we did. And the movie was really, really good. It was sweet. There was like the yearning, and I've seen I think it's 1992 Dracula movie, like a long time ago. And it was on TV. So I feel like a lot of it, like TV as in like a lot of like stuff is probably cut out. So I do want to revisit that one for sure, but there was definitely so much nostalgia watching the new one and remembering bits and pieces of the old one. I was just like, I've seen this movie before. Definitely some new things have been added for sure, because there was moments where I was just like, I don't think that was in the old one. They are definitely different than the book, but movies are so good. And honestly, like, I feel like it was going to take a lot to top the actors from the 1992 movie to this one, but I will say I was pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed the acting, and I just thought everybody just, you know, played the parts and roles so well. And oh my gosh, the cinematography, the setting, atmosphere of everything, the wardrobe, makeup, everything was so stunning. Such a beautiful movie. I definitely think there was moments where I was like, okay, you're losing me a little bit, but I will say overall, I'm still landing at a 5-star with the movie. It was so good, and I can't wait to watch it again. It's just like kind of one of those that like, I kind of want to go back to the theaters and watch again, because it was just like that much fun to watch. You just have so much enjoyment seeing it, and oh, such a good one. Yeah, these are my different copies of Dracula. Ooh, I love that. I also love that the pages in this are kind of like torn pieces of papers, it looks like, because it's like letters. This whole book is written from like journal and diary entry letters, and it's just so amazing. I love it. Honestly, been a minute since I've read it. These two I have thrifted, just really old paperback copies that like I had never seen the covers of before, and I was like, I gotta have them. I love it. I also have a mug. I think it's in there because I keep a lot of my markers that I use for like my journal and planner and stuff like that in it, but it is a Dracula mug. Funny story behind it is I found it at like a thrift store, and I was so excited. And while we were at like the checkout, literally at the checkout, James had reached into our cart to take it out, and like the mug was sitting in like a box, but just like sitting in like a small box, and the way that he tipped the box, the mug flew across the floor. And thankfully, like the mug itself didn't shatter, but the handle did. So I was devastated, and it was also so awkward and embarrassing because like obviously we're gonna pay for it. I still want it. But yeah, we took it home and I glued the handle back together as best I can, but it kind of just holds pins now, but I love it. It's cute. I'll have to try to show you guys it before the end of this video. I am rather tired. It's been a long day already, but I did want to start it because I was still kind of dressed in my Dracula tee, and I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the movie and that whole experience, and also show you guys my books. I also ordered another copy of Dracula. I couldn't resist through Book Outlet, and it's supposed to be here this week, so I will definitely show you guys it when it comes in. I'm so excited. It's really pretty. I'm off to bed. We will talk more about Dracula when I'm not so tired.
You could put it on me. If I heard you wrong, you could put it on me. Got no baggage, I'm okay. No FaceTime for this face. It's a 45-minute drive from the west side back to my place. I'm stuck on 4 or 5, like 4 or 5. But a lot of time is just think. Got a lot of shit on my plate. Gotta get my head on straight.
I am back. Many yeons. Is that the word? Later. I got my new copy of Dracula, which is stunning. And I finished my reread. Don't let this bookmark fool you. I just needed to tuck it in there somewhere. Because my cats love these. They'll rip them out, so I'm trying to keep it intact. Anyways, I did finish my reread. 5 stars. I love this book so much. I could literally see myself reading this every single year at this point. It is so good. And honestly, I was at Barnes the other day and I seen I forgot what it's called, but it's like a day by day through Dracula. So like it breaks it all down into the letters, and you start like, I think it's like May 3rd is like the first letter. Yeah, May 3rd. And then it goes all the way to the end. But like you read with it in the year. So I would start May 3rd, read the letters for that day. May 4th, read the letters that day. And I don't know, I just think that's such a cool experience. So I was thinking, my year with Dracula, 2027, full spoilers, everything. Like, I just feel like it would be so fun. It would be such a long ass video unless I split it up into like parts maybe throughout the journey. I don't know. I have time to plan on it though. But I think it would be so cool to get that book and to try that out, you know, for my year. I know it used to be a thing. You could like email a certain place and they would send you the letters in your email each day that it like corresponds with the book, which is so cool too. People are so creative. And I think that experience would have been really cool too. But yeah, I want to try that. I've never done it that way. So I'm thinking next year would be the perfect time for that. But for now, and for future reference, because I'm sure future Allie, if I do that video, will bring you back here for a non-spoiler review. I'm going to try to stay as non-spoilery as possible, but definitely give you the deets. So yes, this is written kind of old-timey, but at the same time, you guys, this is actually a classic that's pretty easy to read. I just recently read his shorter novel, I think it's The Judge's House, and I also was blown away by how readable and how impactful it was for me to like consume that classic. Because sometimes if you think of like Edgar Allan Poe writing horror, sometimes there's just lines that can go over your head. And it's like, I can't sit here and Google every single sentence and figure out like what he's meaning by this. And sure, you can find like really detailed reviews that will help you, but like being able to experience it and really grasp what is going on with the classic is huge for me. And that is why I've always given this props, because I can really enjoy classic writing in a way that I can consume it and understand it while I'm reading it fully. And I love that. There is certain like sayings and words that are mentioned that I'm like, we don't use that anymore. But it is cool to hear it in their way. And I think there's several audiobooks on this. I of course listened to the unabridged. The one that I listened to though, I got just through my library. It was available. So I was like, I'm gonna try it out. And it was really good. There was two or three different narrators. They did an incredible job. I did look on my app and I don't think it even said like who narrated them. Let me see or double check. Oh, I'm not seeing the Duke Classics. That is, you guys can see that. That's the one that I read. Anyways, this is a 1897 novel. Yes, Carmilla is like the first vampire, but like this is so iconic, and like the actual horror bits are so fun and so interesting because it was so like before its time, writing in a way to scare people. And no, it's not as horrifying as like today's vampire books, but like it really goes there and it does something that's just so charming for a vampire book. I feel like a lot of people watch Dracula, the 1992 or even the new one, and think that that is the tale, but this isn't a love story. Sure, we have Jonathan and Mina who are together. He is going to meet this count to pretty much like for business. It's like real estate, and he becomes captive there. And the book continues with kind of like the setup of a lot of vampire movies, where it's kind of like a journey trying to catch the vampire, to stake him, you know, that whole vibe. It's there with this, and this is like the original story of that. While it's not spot on to the 1992 movie or the new one, there is definitely still a lot of nods to this book that they took, that I absolutely love. Him going to like the castle and like talking to him and like having that conversation. There's just not any of this like love that's being drawn in. Like Dracula's main thing isn't just to go after Mina in the book, but it's still really, really entertaining. And we do have Van Helsing who is helping them along the way. And like I mentioned, it's just letters all the way through, from Mina's diary to Van Helsing's like notes, to Jonathan's entries in his journal. Just the whole ride of it, we're just listening from like their play-by-play of like filling us in. And I don't know, there's just something so charming by it. I love the characters so much. They really bring it to life. And again, there's certain scenes I feel like in both movies that are actually in this, which is really cool. But I also get really big like Nosferatu, like the new Nosferatu movie really took, I feel like, although it did take inspiration from the original black and white, it also really took inspiration from Dracula, because there is such similar things in this as that one as well. And also like I felt like Lucy's character is also very spot on to kind of how the movies portrayed her and different things that happen with them. I don't know. I don't want to spoil too much. I just have such a good time with this. It's just such a classic vampire book that if you can make the time for it and read it, it is so worth it. It's up there in my favorite books. Definitely, I think, my favorite all-time classic. It is so good. With that being said, I have to look into it more, but I've seen somewhere that there is a second book that Bram Stoker wrote about Dracula. I don't know if that's true or not, but I definitely want to look into it for this video, because that'll be my first time ever reading it. If that is the case, I need to find it out. But until then, I wanted to jump into my next read, and you guys, I am finally getting to this series. This is the Veronica Speedwell series. So many people that I absolutely adore watching, like Kayla from Books and Lala, Katie Colson, they have raved about this series for years, and there's like 10 books. I think it's the 10th or the 11th book literally just came out. I was this close to getting tickets to go and see Deanna Raybourn, and it just didn't work out. I had something else going on that same night that I wasn't able to. Anyways, I am not super familiar with Deanna Raybourn, but I did read her Killers of a Certain Age. I still need to get to the sequel of that one. And I absolutely loved it. There was like kind of like mixed reviews on that, especially from people that like I have similar reading taste. They really didn't like it. And I was like, oh my God, it's so good. And it's a thriller. So it was shocking for me, but it's like about a group of like older women, like Golden Girls age, where they used to be assassins and they're retired, and now they're like chilling in retirement and somebody's put a hit out on them. So they have to like survive and attack, you know, their assassins. And also it goes back into time to kind of like link everything together of when they were assassins. So we get some of that action too. Oh, it was so good. I loved it. I definitely want to read the sequel. I'm always scared with sequels to stuff like that though. And I feel like my memory is not refreshed on it. So I'm like, do I need to reread? I don't know. Anyways, I did start A Curious Beginning though. This is about Veronica Speedwell. She is, mind you, this is in 1887. And she is this very confident and blunt person. She'll tell you how it is and she doesn't care. And it's so refreshing to see that from a woman character in 1887. But on top of that, I can't think of the correct term, but she researches butterflies and like goes and explores different places to find different butterflies. This opens with her at a funeral for her aunt who has died, and then right afterwards she is like talking to like the vicar and his wife, and they're just like astonished at like how prude she is. And I love how the writing feels old-timey and classic-like because it's 1887, but at the same time it's just kind of fun to read. And the audiobook's been nice so far as well. Another shout out to my library. But after her aunt dies, she is resuming her world travels. She's hunting for butterflies, and she's starting this journey. Somebody attempts to abduct her. I'm sorry, I'm looking back and forth at you guys and the synopsis because I don't want to give anything away. I'm not that far into it, so I kind of know what's in the synopsis. That's like what I've read so far. But anyways, she has a stranger come into her life that saves her from this abductor, and he tells her that she's in danger and other secrets that she didn't know. And so now she is not only trying to resume her journeys, but she also has to be kept safe and go secretly. So this Baron who saves her tells her, I have the perfect place for you to stay, and it is with no other than his friend Bram Stoker. That is why I wanted to include this book in this video, because this is kind of like a fanfic about Veronica Speedwell, of course, but a fanfic more about like Bram Stoker and like their like romance and chemistry. We've just met him and he's kind of like grumpy. Not to say it's sunshine and grumpy, because I wouldn't say she's complete sunshine. I feel like she's very ambitious, very confident, and like outgoing and blunt, but definitely has like her certain quirks about her that doesn't make her sunshine all the time. But from the get-go, we're already seeing that like he's kind of grumpy, and I just love the banter so far from them and their relationship already like kind of blooming. I've heard that this is also yearning and a very, very slow burn romance, so I feel like I'm really going to enjoy that. And like I said, it's a series, so it is more like a cozy mystery. Like there's gonna constantly be something that happens in a book that Veronica and even maybe Stoker have to solve, and other adventures awaits them yada, yada, yada. Anyways, I'm super excited to keep reading this. I literally didn't want to put it down earlier, and I only made it like, oh, I'm on chapter 5. So I made it a little bit further than what I thought, but I'm just having such a good time with this, and I can't wait to see where it goes. And I really love these new covers of it a lot. And we'll see. I want to finish the entire thing before I see if this is a series I would like to continue, because I'm not typically like a cozy mystery person. I have to have like guts, horror, and all of that to where I don't know how this is going to work for me. But yeah. I did forget to mention she's made it to Stoker's house, and he's a taxidermist. So that's been really interesting, and kind of like a clash between like the two of them, but like she's already like showing her education by like one-upping him on like his research and telling him like what something is, and he's like, no, it's actually this. And she was like, I thought you would know better since, you know, it's actually so-and-so, and kind of like that banter back and forth that I think is going to be a lot of fun. Anyways, that is my check-in. I'm going to continue reading this and definitely look into other Bram Stoker book to see if it actually does exist, because I need it now.
Raindrops, star drops, the clouds won't stop.
Hello, you guys. Maybe that's too high up. I wanted to check in because I checked in, I don't know, probably like a week or two ago, and I was thinking back to it, and I was just like, it was a mess. I was all over the place. Clearly, I was really, really tired. Probably shouldn't have been filming because I just think I was like in a mood, and I ended up not being able to encapsulate to you guys like what this book did to me. And so I wanted to redo, if you will. So don't mind me. I am just sitting here journaling. My hair is drying, so it's kind of like a little flat. Just kind of having a casual afternoon. And I've been making these fun like collages for my journal of like different experiences and stuff. And this is mine for Dracula. So I thought I would work on it while I talk to you guys about this book, because I freaking loved this book. I ate it up. No, it's not a vampire book. I didn't think it was, but I was watching one of Kayla from Books and Lala's, vlogs not too long ago about like how she was going to be done with the series and stuff, because like it had kind of done for her like what she needed it to do. And, 10 or 11 books in, and she's just like, I needed to do something more. And she was like, I think it'd be really cool if after all of this time, he's actually a vampire. I'm talking about Stoker. And I'm not gonna lie, that would be really cool. Such a slow burn, like 10, 11 books in, and bam, he's a fucking vampire. That would be really, really cool. Yeah, I wish. I will be continuing though. Not to say that I won't feel exactly like she will when I get 10 or 11 books into this. I'm probably gonna be right there with her, but I don't know. I just really enjoyed this that I want to pick up the next one, but I have been holding off because there's other books I'm trying to get to and read, and I think that this series will suck me in and like not let me back out to anything else. So I am trying to take my time before jumping back into it, but maybe a spoilery like series vlog in the future. Maybe we can plan ahead if any of you guys want to read it with me, and so that I can spoil it in that video and talk about it with you guys. I did take some notes though, so I wanted to get those out. I kind of wanted to gush about this as much as possible for you guys, but also to kind of like hype up the series in a way, but also because if I do continue this series, I would like to have this footage talking about the first one to gush about, to rewatch before jumping into the second book. So I actually took quite a lot of notes. Maybe they will be in that full vlog, but I'll share some of them with you guys here and edit out maybe some of them. So I'm just gonna kind of read through my notes. Some of these might be a little unhinged. I don't even remember at this point. There was a plot twist that kind of formed them into, I can't even think of what it was. Oh, I think it's just referring to what happened to her. I think I already read that in the synopsis. So pretty much she's just being dropped off at Stoker's place for protection. And he's just kind of not getting the full story. So that kind of twist has kind of made it to where it's almost like an enemies to lovers, because like from the get-go, they don't really like each other. But then she starts like showing her brain and like how smart she is, and how she's not afraid to like speak her mind. She's very blunt. And then he's just like, okay. They travel together to get to the bottom of what's going on. This entails the plot of this we know that somebody is coming after Veronica, but we don't know why. So they are trying to get to the bottom of it, and he is actually like helping her. They end up at this circus-like place of a bunch of people that are very familiar with Stoker. And Veronica has to kind of go undercover and be Mrs. Veronica Stoker. His idea, by the way, because they're traveling together, and again, this is what, 1887? So like, you know, they can't be unwed and traveling together, my God. Which means they of course have to stay together, and it's kind of like that like close proximity trope that I also really love in my romance books. There is yearning moments. There's like this steamy moment of like him rushing to her from the bathhouse and he's in just a towel. To her meeting his ex that works for like this circus type thing, and she's like dressing up for the show and act that they're doing together, and him like swooning over the way that she looks. But she is showing like jealousy towards the other girl because of the comments this girl's making, and this other girl's being so petty. I love their personalities though, and I actually marked it. Chapter 12, page 117. There's like this banter going on between them. Just get on with it, I told him, my teeth gritted hard against the chattering that had set in. Suddenly he stopped and dropped his arm. You might stop muttering the Lord's Prayer, you know. It is thoroughly distracting. Oh, how curious. I did not realize I was. Odd, I am not even religious. Shall I pause whilst you sing out a few verses of Nearer My God to Thee, or do you want to move directly to committing your soul into the hands of Jesus? I can wait. She said, I am ready. They're very sarcastic, and the banter is just so funny and like just refreshing, especially for like this like time period. But it doesn't get spicy, but it does get like, you know, semi, like it's leading us onto that path. There's a moment she gets drunk because of her nerves for like this show or whatever. And while he's helping her, he says, good girl. I literally put that, and then I put, ah, in my notes. So then later she gets a warning about Stoker from another man. And when she got back, he grabbed her and demanded to know where she went off to. Once again, I put, ah! There's a moment of acting where they have to like embrace each other and like actually act like they're, you know, so it's like fake dating. Oh, I loved it. Oh my God. And she asks personal questions and says, sorry for intruding. And he says, it's not the knowing I mind, it's the telling. It's like that throughout. It's so like, oh, I was just gushing. I was kicking my feet. I had the best time. So is it weird that it's in my Dracula video? Maybe, you know, but I just think it's really cool to have like a fanfic of Bram Stoker. For whatever reason, it's not like I really know much about the guy other than he wrote one of my favorite books, but I love the love and the yearning in this, and just kind of how fun it is. And I'm not a cozy mystery girl, so I'm still like shocked by it. But I am excited to continue the series and see where it takes me. Maybe I'll keep loving it and keep buying them and picking them up and reading them. We will see, but I am landing at 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. I'm going to keep journaling today. I've been actually just making my collages on Canva, which is a little lazy, but they're so cool. They just turn out really cool, and it's still kind of like a Mod Podge thing, and then I can add stuff to it. I actually saved a space here because, you guys, I don't know if you can see the mess behind me, not really. I have like all my cross-stitching stuff out right now. I have been using this app. It's called, I think, Stitchly. Yeah, Stitchly. I bought it a long time ago and then never used it, but it's really cool because you can like upload photos and turn them into cross stitches. So that's kind of what I did with this. Now thinking on it, I'm like, Allie, you probably could have just gone to Etsy and bought somebody's like pattern for this. I'm so sorry if you hear my ice maker, it's so loud. But I didn't. Instead, I decided to go the hard route, which is insane because this is the pattern. I'm making it to be 8.3 inch by 9 inches. So it's not gonna be like too big, but it's still gonna be a really good size for actually on this wall over here is where I'm planning to put it. I'm just using 8 of 14 count black because I'm skipping all the black. I'm just going to try to do every stitch besides the black and see how it looks. If I hate it, I might end up going back over it and doing all the black. It will be such a nuisance. That's what I'm planning on doing to maybe like speed run it a little bit more than how long this would actually take me, which would be insane because in total stitches, this is supposed to be 14,742 stitches. Insane. So we're cutting down a lot with skipping black. So I hope I can follow through with that. There's also, this is the biggest project I have done cross-stitching wise because there is 117 colors in this. Insane. I'm really committing, but what's really cool about this app, I am not sponsored obviously, but I just wanted to show it because if you're a cross-stitcher, it's really cool. Once you have it all picked out the way that you like, you can see that it sections it into parts like regular patterns do. But what's really cool is like as you go, like section 15 is what I'm on. So you can see all of like the shades and stuff you have to do. If you're a cross stitcher, you know, it might be confusing if you're not, but you can hit this like little check mark and then you can hit one and it clears it for you. That means you've done that stitch so you can move on. So it shows you like what all is left. It can be a little confusing at times. I do find myself having to count a lot of where I left off if I want to do like one shade at a time, like per section, which is what I've been doing. And I've been tackling through it a lot faster that way instead of just going line by line. But you do have a lot more counting, which isn't always the most fun, especially when you're just trying to chill and cross stitch and watch something. But the bottom sections, there's 4. I've cleared those and I've cleared this one right here. So like by the time I'm done, the whole thing will be yellow and cleared. And with that, this is literally all I have, you guys. Like cross stitching is a work. It is a work of labor. It takes a while, but it's just gonna be so cool, I feel like, and I can't wait to see like how it turns out. I'm just so excited, but it is definitely literally going to take me forever, so I don't know if it's going to be done in this video. I would say not. The other day when I checked in and did my shitty review of A Curious Beginning, I jumped into this and I was like, I'm gonna pause this video and come back when this is done. And then I've been working on it this week and I was like, oh hell no, this is not gonna be done. But I do have one more book I'm gonna read. I'm going to read the Lost chapter. Apparently there was like either a chapter or even a first draft of Dracula that Bram Stoker wrote, never did anything with, never published. That's why a lot of people think it was just like what started as Dracula and maybe Bram didn't like it, scrapped it, and then wrote what Dracula is now. Anyways, once he passed, his wife found it and published it. And so it's called Dracula's Guest, and I think it's just supposed to be, yeah, like that lost content that we never got to see. And it's rather short. It's a short story, but I am going to read it because I've never read it before, let you guys know what I think and wrap up this video. So I'm hoping to do that, make a little bit more progress to where I'm not leaving you guys with just this, but it's gonna not be that much more complete than this because this is gonna take me probably the spring, summer, maybe even fall, because it takes me forever to cross stitch, but I don't know, we'll see. I will be checking back in soon.
Hangs by the door. The skies are blue, the darkest of blue. Now I swear I felt this before. You sent it.
I am back to wrap up this vlog. I did read Dracula's Guest. It's really funny. I got it through my library Hoopla app as an audiobook so I could listen to it while I was working on the cross stitch. And it was funny because it started like with an introduction, kind of talking about everything that I got from Google in the last part of this that I talked to you guys about how his wife published it after he died. And it was like, they thought it was like a missing story, but really it was just like a missing chapter. And really his publishers kind of cut it out because they were like, it doesn't really add anything to this story. And with the page count, let's just, you know, get rid of it. So it was just kind of like all of that, which was interesting, but it was kind of like, I already got that. Then it jumps into the chapter and it was good. It follows Jonathan, one of the main characters, as he is journeying to, the castle, and I feel like the setup of it, once again, it just took me to the newest Nosferatu movie, talking about like the scenery and his journey there and everything. It just was very pretty and reminded me of the beginning of that movie, and just kind of describing his journey and, like I said, the scenery and stuff. But on top of that, he has an encounter with some wolves. It was really interesting. It almost felt like it was kind of like his play-in to include werewolves in the story, but obviously not full on there. I think more than anything, it was kind of like a warning to him that, you know, danger is near. I think it is something cool to check out if you're a huge Dracula fan or you love the book and you read it all the time. Like, definitely check out that missing chapter. It's kind of cool and cool little piece of history from Bram Stoker. But as a whole, I feel kind of weird like rating it, although like I want to because, you know, it's a part of Dracula I've never read before during all of my rereads. So I would give it a 5-star. I feel like it just kind of would blend in right, you know, with the rest of the story. With that being said, I'm wrapping up this video, but I wanted to show you guys at least the progress that I've made. Still so much to go, but you can actually see like the color and stuff that I've been adding through now. It's really starting to come to life. I am starting to question if my fabric is big enough. I did make sure I got the right size for what the design says it needs, so I don't know if this is a fail on the app side of things. I don't know. If the design is too big for this Ada fabric, I'm literally gonna cry because it doesn't even look like I've done that much, but like each of those are individual stitches. It has taken me so long already, and I just know it's gonna be a work of labor. So hopefully it all fits and really comes together and looks good on the wall, but definitely it's going to take quite a while to finish this up. But yeah, it's laughable to think that I could do this all in this vlog with this much progress, but I'm excited to continue it and I'm glad I got to start it. Who knows, maybe next year if I do the daily Dracula, I might still be working on it then. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for this video. I really appreciate it. Let me know if you guys have read Dracula or if, you know, you're down to maybe do like a daily Dracula. I think it'd be so much fun to commit to that one year. You'll also have to let me know if you've read any of the Veronica Speedwells and what you think of them. I would love to know. And yeah, thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next video.